Pleasure to do this. Pleasure to have you in here, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
That was a phenomenal performance in Brazil against Glover Teixeira in his hometown. Last minute, like, I mean, how much time did you have to prep for that?
I had about 6 weeks.
Oh, you did have 6 weeks.
Yeah, I had 6 weeks.
But it was, but you knew that it was it was supposed to be 3 rounds, and then they changed it to the title for 5 rounds, right?
No,
it was
a title right away.
That was right after Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz. So right from
they
there.
They legitimately called me while they were still.
Wow.
Yeah, while they were still in the cage.
If you wanted a full camp for a 5-round fight, though, what would you prefer? Like, how much time do you really need?
I prefer maybe about like 8 weeks, about 8 to 10 weeks.
So slightly abbreviated, but your performance was phenomenal, man. I mean, it was amazing to see you pick apart Glover like that, and to do so well on the ground too. I mean, that was a big victory.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought that I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Well, that was just a general assumption, was that I couldn't grapple on the ground and things like that. When that's definitely.
But you getting that general assumption from who though? People online?
Just picks, like, you know what I mean. Just like people like an analyst. Then like any like the fighters or whatever that I talk to, or like they were like, oh, like they always say, it's always something that they say. Even guys in the division, you know, they were like, oh, he's just a boxer. You know, I don't know if he can really wrestle or if he can really has like kicks or anything like that. Yeah, they're questioning the kicks too. You know, so it's just,
that's some of the biggest moments in the fight. That left high kick of yours. Yeah. Well, people are going to question you until they can't anymore.
Right.
That's how it goes. You know, there's always I don't know about this guy, and then all of a sudden he's the best ever. You never know.
Right, and that's why I'm just hungry for, you know what I mean, for names, man. I'm hungry for the next challenge.
What did it feel like when they strapped that thing around your waist?
Man, it's a hard thing to describe. It was just like almost like unreal, like almost like living almost like in a dream, like one of the dreams that I've had, you know. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just crazy. Just the weight of everything that I did and been through and everything was just, it was a lot.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot. It's a lot for everybody. I mean, that's a moment that very few human beings will ever achieve. There's it right now.
Yeah, that's when he told me that he was about to retire.
I mean, it's amazing how long that dude has hung in there. He was the boogeyman for 6 years. You know, for 6 years, Glover lived in Brazil and he couldn't get a visa. And this was like in the early days, like when Chuck Liddell was the UFC light heavyweight champion. That's how far back Glover goes.
Right. I heard something about like he went pro in 2001.
Yeah. Crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
22 years later. And then
still fighting for the world championship.
And, you know, having that fight with Yuri Prohaska where he lost the title, I mean, that was a crazy close fight. Yeah. Until he got caught in that choke. He was ahead.
I think he was.
Yeah, he was ahead in that fight.
Yeah, I believe he was.
That video that you made to Yuri was hilarious. We played it on the